Today is a day where we take our chariot and put it to the side, because today I want to figure out how I'm actually going to paint all these. Now you might be saying, didn't you already start painting, so why haven't you figured out your paint scheme yet? Well, the thing is, I'm a bit bored by my old paint scheme, and for that reason I am going to go with a slightly different route than before. Now for that I assembled all my primary colors here. We have red, we have yellow, we have blue, and we have of course green, because orcs are green. So if you know your orcs, you maybe know where I'm going with this, because I want to try to replicate or maybe go in the direction of the 90s color schemes of the classic GW orcs. I don't have any old paints except for that one, thanks to Jonas from Bequest Miniatures for sending me that. But other than that I have only modern paints, but this is not really a detriment, this is more like a real help, because I also have very bright and very colorful paints, especially those Molotov ones. I think we should just get on with it and try to figure it out. First, the mask. I'm not quite sure how this is going in regards of you understanding me. We will see. We start definitely with white. I think this is the only thing I am pretty much clear on. Okay. I mean, this is a very funny voice. Okay, I think regarding airbrushing, I'm going to leave it at that for now. So when it comes to these high fluidic Molotov paints, I tend to use them not with a wet palette, as they are already pretty fluid. Now, first thing should be a skin color. I think I want that very, very, very bright. Should I start with a darker one? I think I will start with a darker one and then build it up. Now I have to admit that painting isn't the most enjoyable part for me of the hobby, simply because I'm pretty afraid of making mistakes or simply delivering something subpar from a slightly perfectionist self. But it's also always a good reminder that I'm not a pro. I'm simply an average hobbyist, like most of you, I would say. And that's completely fine. Yeah, I think... not quite sure about this green. It's already pretty dark. I think I will try something different. Another green. Ooh, I have to admit I really like this. This yellow looks great. It's even covering the green, which is also pretty nice. So I think the next step is to go with the red. Let's see what kind of red we have. I could go with this, but I think I will go with a Chimera red. This is probably my favorite red, so why not use it? Time to get out the wet palette. Ooh, it's the last paper. I think these look pretty bad, so I think we have to do something about that. But I never intended this to be the final step. This is definitely just the first, so I think we have to do something about that. Now my idea is to simply go with speed paints, thin them down a little bit, and then see what comes out of it. Okay, we take this one, and what else do we have? Maybe this, and a yellow. We need a yellow. Nope. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, let's try these four. A little bit here, and a bit of speed paint medium. All right, let's try this. And this is getting more in the right direction, I think. So much for the yellow. Let's do this with all the other parts, and we'll see where this gets us. Now this looks much more like it. I think we are on a very good track. Now I think I'm at a position where I need to make a decision. Whether I go with oil paints for the highlights or if I stick to acrylics. I'm tending to acrylics, so I think, yeah, I think I will do that. Let's start with yellow. Here I go with 2 paints. First, the base color. After that, we go with this more lighter ochre, whatever that is. What is it? Beige pastel. I've been painting today for, I think, probably over 8 hours. This is due to the fact that I'm a very slow painter, I think, but also it shows that this is not a paint scheme that is so super easy and quick applicable. However, I'm noticing something funny. I tend to hear music or a podcast or watching a YouTube video. However, for this project, I'm not doing that. And that is simply because I wanted to stay present if I have something to say. And I think now I do. But I'm noticing that I'm much more focused, I'm much more engaged, and I have therefore much more fun with this. It kind of reminds me of what people were saying, or what I heard people saying about miniature painting, that it becomes some sort of a meditative experience, and I never had that. And I think this is due to me being not focused, being in 2 places at the same time. One place being here, painting, but with my mind I'm like in this video or in this podcast and hearing or watching that. And now, today, I'm noticing that I'm much more relaxed with it, I have much more fun with it. Now I hope while you're watching this video and you're painting, you're not going to abandon this video immediately, but maybe consider trying this out once in a while. It's really a completely different experience now. I think I have it. Let me clean all this up, maybe decorate the base a little bit, but yeah, this is working. And here we have it. 5 orcs that are ready for battle. I wasn't quite sure about this color scheme in the middle of it because it looked kind of crap, but I think this turned to a much better scheme. I'm really glad I stick to it. Now for the base I went obviously not with the typical goblin green because I don't have a fitting goblin green. So I think this green is for now the placeholder. Maybe I will get my hands on a fitting color one day. Now, tell me, what do you think? I think overall I took a bit too long. I think next time I will try to airbrush the first steps, or maybe even disregard the first step completely and instead go directly to the speed paints. But other than that, I'm really happy. I think I will stick to this. So let me know what you think. Maybe you also have an idea where I could cut down some time, because I don't want to sit like 10-12 hours on 5 orcs every time. I think the next time we go back to the chariot, or maybe not, we will see.